All right, man. Listen, I'm gonna teach y'all about spirituality, about spiritual battle, because a lot of people don't really understand what a spiritual battle is. They don't understand spirituality, which has nothing to do with religion. Two totally different things. It is you cannot do spiritual battle with religion. First of all, spiritual is something within your spirituality. Nobody can help you with your spirituality at all. Okay. The reason why spirituality has nothing to do with religion, because religion is, if you look this up, the word religion is something you do every day. It's just when you say I do something religiously, that means I believe in it wholeheartedly. I do it every day. Okay, that has nothing to do with spirituality. Okay, spirituality is actually your being. It is actually you. You understand what I'm saying? When I say that is you are a human being and you're comprised of skin, flesh, and energy. Okay, your spirit is pure energy. You understand? It's something called your light being and your dark being, and you have chakra points that emanates energy. It sets up a barrier around your body shaped like a hyperboloid. Okay, if you don't know what hyperboloid is, you're gonna have to look it up, but you got to follow it. Okay, a hyperboloid that I can explain is a donut. Okay, it's donut shaped. At the top of your head is why they call it your crown chakra, because when the hyperboloid comes out, it comes out like a donut, like a crown. Okay? You have a higher self and a lower self. Your higher self is your spirit, that's your energy. Your lower self is your soul. Okay? Your soul, that's why they call your bottom of your feet the soul of your feet. You understand what I'm saying? It's called a soul because it's also like a crown chakra that comes out the bottom of your feet. Okay, this is your body. All right, and this energy emits around you in a circle on both sides of you, 360 degrees. Okay, that is also can be correlated to the subconscious. Okay, that's the part of you when your conscious is woke. That side of you is asleep. That's why they call it subconscious, because it's under. When they do surgery, they put you under. Okay? While you are under, your subconscious is not over. It's awake. That's why I always urge people not to sleep with their TV on, because while you consciously are asleep, they are subconsciously implanting program into your brain because your subconscious is listening. Okay? So to do spiritual battle means that they change your energy. Okay, you're sitting here with a moral compass. Your morality is akin to your spirituality because it's what you believe in and hold dear. Some people have good morals, some people have bad morals. You know, your morality. So, how can I put this? What you put your energy to determines your moralities. You know, if you start off knowing something is wrong, and you know inside of you that it's wrong, and you let it, if somebody from the outside program you to change that because they want you to believe something else, right? So you know it's wrong and you hold dear to it, and then after a while, they start to convince you. It's like, okay, let me put it like this. It's like a song that come on the radio, a Cardi B song, that you know garbage. And you say it's garbage when you first hear it. But over time, you start, they play it so much on the radio, you start bobbing your head to it, and after a while, you notice you singing it. And after a while, you like, okay, this song ain't too bad. That's a spiritual battle. You know what I'm saying? They warn that from repetition, and you listening. They eventually convince you that this is a good song because they played it so much. So you let that in your spirit. You lost that battle. You understand? Because even though you know that song garbage, you still bobbing your head to it and singing it. You understand? So you know something's wrong. You know it's wrong. In your heart of hearts, you know it's wrong. And then you let them convince you over time. You change your stance on it. And then all of a sudden you be like, well, this is where I'm at with it. I used to couldn't stand it. But now I just say it's all right if such and such, such and such. Now you could spiritually compromised. And see, that's what programming is. That's why they call television programming. See, and when you look at the Egyptian wall, you start seeing it went from gods and goddesses to the gods with animals, which became bestiality. Because if you showing a man on the wall with an animal having a baby, which it does, it shows God laying on his back and shooting sperm up. Anyway, I ain't trying to get into all that, but it's bestiality. When you show two men, it's homosexuality. So you showing that in the spirit, you have to bring in the spirit, because I'm pretty sure in those days they were like, oh, I can't believe that. You ever seen something, you be like, oh, I can't believe they even do that. I can't believe they even do that. And over a while, you start to get numb to it. They keep on doing it, you get numb to it, you're losing that spiritual battle. So after a while, it's not a shock no more. After a while, it's not a concern. Oh, man, I used to feel this way, but now I'm like, fuck it, let people do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's a spiritual battle. That's compromising your morals. You see what I'm saying? So when you get full of toxins and certain things in your body, you compromised. All right, you're not at your purest. So what they do is that compromise your thought patterns. Okay, so when they introduce these things to you, you don't have your normal resistance to it. Your pH balance is off. You're chemically poisoned. So that's what they're doing with the GMOs. That's what they're doing with all the Wi-Fi. That's what they're doing with all the different signals, the 5G and all that around you. They are compromising your spiritual energy, because you are a battery. That energy emanating from you is just like a battery. You have your positive side and your negative side. The bottom of your feet, your higher side, your lower side, which in the lower side is the bottom of your feet. Same thing as your negative side. So when they say you're a positive person, you exercise your crown chakra, and when you're a negative person, you exercise your root chakra, which is the root going to the ground, which is the sole of your feet. You get me? So spirit is high, soul is low. I can go deep into this, and I will go deep into this. It gets deep. I don't know if y'all following me or not, but I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm teaching this off the fly. So as you're doing spiritual battle, you fighting. And you fighting for what you know to be right. And if you let them compromise that, then you just lost that battle spiritually. Same thing with Christianity. Christianity was strictly, when I grew up, it was strictly no homosexuality cause. But now you got gay pastors, you got gay members. Back in the day, they would not come towards the church. Maybe one or two, or whatever the case may be. Now it's being accepted. So you can't correlate Christianity or religion with spirituality, because they losing the spiritual battle too. They letting them compromise their energy, and that's what your spirit is. They let them compromise their thought. And that's what we doing, and that's what the government doing. They compromising us, and then they governing our mental. And they doing that by bringing it spiritually first, which is through thought, which is television, which is social media. They put it out there, and at first you're appalled by it. You're like, oh, I can't believe it. And all it is the first art of war, which is propaganda. That's the first art of war. They put a campaign out there, and they continuously beat you spiritually with that campaign until you accept it. So it has to become in the spiritual before it comes to the physical. So then when you actually see it in front of you physically, it's not an issue, because you already been compromised spiritually. You see what I'm saying? So until we learn how to fight spiritually, which is fasting. If you go vegan, that's a form of fasting, because you fasting from meat. You fasting from the impurities that's not supposed to be in your body, and you just taking what Mother Earth gives you, fruits and vegetables and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Which I feel like is the right way to go, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't think murder or death is right? By no means. So killing animals and consuming them is a form of vampirism, and that's wrong because all when you feeding for meat, all you feeding for is the blood and the meat. You know, they tell you you get your protein from meat, but that's not true. You get your protein from the protein that those animals, which 9 times 10 was plant-based animals, consumed eating their plant, and now it's in their meat. And when you consume that meat, you consume that protein. And that's not the best way to get protein, but that's a different video. Okay? So what you do is, you know, you let them compromise you. Well, what was I? Okay. The eating and the veganism. And okay, so you're doing spiritual battle. Back to fasting. Okay. Fasting is the way to go. So you fasting, right? So what you're doing is you letting all the impurities get out of your body. And they say when you fast, you feed the spirit and weaken the flesh, which is true. That's why when Jesus I use example because if Christians followed the teachings of Jesus to the letter, they would be better people. But they don't follow the teachings of Jesus. You know, it's about the Christ mind. Jesus wasn't the only person with the anointed with the name Christ. So you have to go to the Christ mind. You understand what I'm saying? So back to the story. Jesus went to the mountain. I think it was Mount Calvary if I ain't mistaken. And he went up on the mountain and he fasted 40 days. And the whole time the devil was up there, which was only Jesus' lower self. Because we all dual beings. You have a higher self and a lower self. You understand what I'm saying? So Jesus' lower self was telling him, because while he was up there looking over the whole earth, which is flat. Yeah, it is. That's another video. So he looking over the whole earth. How else could he look over the earth from a mountain? Okay? So he looking over the whole earth, and the devil tell him, which is his lower, say, hey man, you up here trying to be good and lead these people to ascend to a higher level, but you can have all this. With all the power you possess, you can have all of this. And that's the same thing with you. You as a God, with the power that you possess, if you really put your mind to it, anybody, they can have all of this. Because the only thing that stop you is self. You ain't willing to do what it takes. And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? So he told himself, if I have all this, then I can have all this if I exercise my power. Or I can show these people the right way to access their own power. And that's what Jesus was about. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with God. God can never destroy the devil because you can never destroy your lower self. He just accepted him and loved him. That's why he loved him so dearly. That's why the devil was the first angel, because outside your good self, the first thing is your bad self. It's your right hand man. It's there. And you got to accept that. Because God said in order to know him, you got to know self. And God made us in their image. Right? So that means you are a higher person than a lower person. You are a mini God. You are God in your own right. That's why in New York, they said, what's up, God? You know, and that is what it is, man. You know, you are a God. And there's a lot of stuff up there with that Masonic stuff, and they know, and that's another video. But back to the spiritual battle. So once you know thyself, then you know what you're capable of, and you'll become strong in the spirit. Because you will start letting go from all this activity out here, these worldly things that Jesus warned you about. You know, I'm not a Christian and I don't believe in the Bible, but one thing I know is a good example when I see one, and Christ was a good example. I don't believe in the whole Bible, but when you go by Jesus' teachings, you can't lose. You know, don't get me wrong with that. And if they followed that to the T, and I'm not saying he was a real person. Somebody just laid down a good example and they made a story, and it's an allegory. You can look it up. An allegory means a fictitious story. And that's what it was, but okay. That's another video. So, you are God, and if you exercise your inner strength, but you got to first read yourself this poor. So Jesus will tell you got to fast. You know, and that's where everybody you see in their religion fast. You know, that's why it's Ramadan. The Muslims do Ramadan because they fasting. And really, you're supposed to fast intermittently all year round. For real. Because you gotta eat to live, not live to eat. And America have become glutton. You know, you think about it, where you live at, where all this beef in this country. How many restaurants in this country? How many restaurants? You know, millions. And where that beef come from? Where all that beef being produced at? How can they slaughter all that meat? You think you really eating beef? These are things we gotta think about, man. You know, but back to the fasting and the spiritual battle. All this is part of the spiritual battle. I'm getting off into these stories because all this is part of the spiritual battle that we fight. That the Masons waging on us, that the Christians waging on us, the Muslims waging on, the government waging on us, because all of those are forms of sex of the government. You understand what I'm saying? So they waging all this spiritual battle on us. And we sitting here going to church praying, thinking that's how you fight spiritually. See, your enemy will never give you the key to defeat him. And the fact that the government gives you religion tells you that religion is not the right way to go. And the power invested in me. You know, all what Jesus said, he'll never give you power. He said, pray for the strength to do it yourself. That means go within your own strength. You know, say when the people say fix it, Jesus, that's some bullshit. You know, that's not the teaching. You ask for the strength within. So God also say, you know, a lot of people, whoever wrote the Bible, these men that wrote the Bible were some wise men. And I take the good parts from it, you know, not saying it's true. I take it from it because it's some good parts in that Bible because they were wise men. But it's also deception in that Bible too. A lot of deception and a lot of lies. So, you know, you got to know how to filter out the bullshit, you know, eat the good part, the meat, you know. So, you know, you always ask for the strength to do it yourself, you know. And you got to fast. You got to go within because God said in order to know him, you got to know self. Study to show thyself approved. All the good parts tell you the truth. And that's what I'm here for, to tell you the truth. If you like what you're hearing, subscribe. You know, my name, Jerome, a.k.a. Hood Avatar. I will be coming live. I will be posting. But I'm going to be bringing this knowledge to y'all, man. You know, video 2 will be coming soon. And it'll get more and more professional. Peace.